Can the Vikings go 2-0 and beat the 49ers the second year in a row? Welcome back to Vikez Vibez, your place for Minnesota Vikings content. This week, we have the San Francisco 49ers for our home opener. Sunday the 15th at noon. All right, so it's going to be exciting. Our home opener, a lot of new guys. Aaron Jones can't wait to get in there and hear the Skol chant from the purple side. So week one, the Vikings and the Niners both got wins. We're both 1-0. Vikings dominated the Giants, and San Francisco, they manhandled Aaron Rodgers and the Jets. So that game, it was so bad that Robert Saleh pulled Aaron Rodgers at the end of the game. So San Francisco, they've kind of became the juggernaut team of the NFC. So, and while the Vikings, we're kind of fighting our way to get into that conversation. We seem to just keep having letbacks, injuries, and this and that, but we're fighting and clawing to get our way there. So this is going to be one hell of a fight. Before I get into some of the injuries, which are key in this game, I just want to say that this game, like I said, it's a big test. This is going to be, I think, a big measuring stick for how the Vikings season might go the rest of the way. But it's a very big test very early. But hey, I look at it this way. I actually like it. Having it this early, play a hard team and to see what we need to work on and work from there. That way, come if we end up going to the playoffs, we seen them early, then we can watch tape on them. Like, I don't know. I just think that having a big test like that early in the season, it's good. Because then we know what we got to work on against one of the best teams in the league. And then we can go out there and try and execute it the rest of the season. So I actually, while I'm nervous about this game, I actually like it to be a big test for us. And then another thing before I get to the injuries, this week we signed Harrison Phillips to a 2-year extension, which I absolutely love. I love that guy. On and off the football field, he's just a great human being. And he's also a hell of a football player. So I'm very happy to keep Harrison Phillips in purple for another 2 years at least. So going to some of the injuries. We'll start on the San Francisco side. With a knee injury, got Yetur Gross-Matos, defensive end. I think these are all questionable. And then we got linebacker D. Winters with the ankle, guard Aaron Banks with a calf and a finger injury, safety Talanru Hufanga with a knee injury, wide receiver Juwan Jennings with an ankle injury. Well, he had a pretty good game against the Jets in week 1, so I think I just have a gut feeling that Juwan Jennings will play. And most likely have a big game against us this week. And then running back Christian McCaffrey, he's out. Actually, just got the notification right before I started recording this video. Recording on Saturday, the day before the game. Just got the notification that the 49ers have put Christian McCaffrey on injured reserve and will evaluate to see if he will come back in mid-October. Which it's good for the Vikings. Even though Jordan Mason completely blew up and had an amazing game week 1. I have Christian McCaffrey on my fantasy team. I drafted him number 2, which that sucks. I did pick up Jordan Mason last week though, and he got some good points for me. But anyway, Christian McCaffrey is out. Then we go to the Vikings side. Wide receiver Jordan Addison. We thought he was gonna go. Kevin O'Connell said that he was hopeful. So I thought, okay, he'll probably play. But no, yesterday on Friday, they announced that Jordan Addison will be out with that ankle injury. And then we got Andrew Van Ginkel with a foot injury. I think he should be fine. He should be ready to go. I haven't heard anything else on him. So I expect him to go. Center Garrett Bradbury with a knee. Haven't heard anything else on him. I do believe he was a full participant in practice on Friday, as well as Van Ginkel. And then the other one that I know of, Jalen Naylor, wide receiver, with an ankle injury. He was also been a full participant, so I totally expect him to go as well. So those are some of the injuries. Not having Jordan Addison is going to be kind of big, especially with how he had a breakout game last year against San Francisco. But we do have Jefferson in this game. We didn't have him last year against the Niners, so it's a horse apiece there, I guess. Kevin O'Connell earlier in the week said that they were prepping extra physically for this game, which I honestly don't know what that means. Football is a physical game, so why wouldn't you prepare for every game physically? I just didn't understand that. I don't know. So will our quarterback Sam Darnold come out on top against the team he was on last year? Darnold, he knows the 49ers defense and some of the soft spots there, but the Niners also know how Darnold is. So I think it'll be interesting. I definitely do think that the 49ers will take that into effect as they prepare for this game going against Sam Darnold. They know that, he kind of knows the defense. They'll probably try to throw him off with some new stuff, new schemes. But it makes me feel a little better knowing that Darnold was in that system, practicing against that defense every day. Not necessarily against the ones, but he's still seeing it every day in practice. So I do feel good about that. One of the biggest storylines in this one leading up to this game was will Christian McCaffrey play? It's been back and forth all week. George Kittle, what his comments were saying that he is going to play, but he's out. Christian McCaffrey's, he's easily the league's best running back when he's healthy. But Jordan Mason last week, if that's not a one-hit wonder with just 1 week of being that amazing, man, I don't think they have anything to worry about. I did hear, I don't know who it was. It was like an ESPN analyst or NFL analyst said something about that Jordan Mason could have the most fantasy points for running backs this season. So, I mean, there's already high expectations for Jordan Mason. I think if he keeps playing like he did last week, they're going to be just fine without Christian McCaffrey. Unfortunately, for this game, hopefully they at least lose this game against us. Um, either way, we're gonna have our hands full with the running game. Even they got Debo Samuel who can basically play a wide receiver or running back. Um, so without Christian McCaffrey, Brock Purdy, he still has weapons. Debo, Ayuk, who I think will have a bounce back game this week. He had a couple of big drops in that game. They got Juwan Jennings, Jordan Mason, George Kittle. Our defense will definitely be tested against that offense once again. Speaking of our defense, last year when we played San Francisco on Monday Night Football, I was there. It was the most amazing experience. Cam Bynum had 2 interceptions. Will he get another one or more this time? I definitely think that he'll be sniffing the ball more than usual, just because he knows that against this team at home last year, he was the hero. And he's gonna be going after that ball even more. I really hope he gets at least one in this game. That would be awesome. Our O line, it was very good last week for the most part, but this game it's gonna be totally different. Leonard Floyd and Nick Bosa are one of the best defensive combos in the league. So, how many sacks will our O line give up? As much as I want to say none, obviously, um, I'm gonna say 2. My gut tells me that we're gonna give up 2 sacks, which it's that's that actually wouldn't be too bad going against this very tough San Francisco defense. But um, as much as I would love to say 0, my gut just tells me realistically 2. So we'll see if we can beat that and get under 2. Will Aaron Jones blow up in his first game as a Viking at US Bank Stadium? Will he break 100 yards, which he didn't do last week? He did. He came damn close, 94 yards. I think his excitement just seeing how he was talking about playing his first game at US Bank Stadium as a Viking, just the excitement that he had, he's going to be more pumped up with our fans, our school chant, and just the environment at US Bank Stadium. He's going to be pumped up. Which another thing about Aaron Jones, I seen it last night. There was a post about how the Packers, they have the Lambeau Leap. Well, Aaron Jones, his first touchdown as a Viking last week against the Giants, he leaped up into the crowd. I don't know if that's just because he's so used to doing the Lambeau Leap, or I don't know. But they're saying that we need a name for the leap here for Minnesota. And I think I liked the one that someone came up with. I think it was called uh, the bank bounce, or the bounce at the bank, or something like that. So it's just kind of cool. People are thinking of names for the Minnesota Leap or whatever. Um, it And going to Jefferson, we all know how good he can be. I think that he had a touchdown last week. Didn't have many yards. I just think that he needs to have a big game against this very good 49ers secondary, especially since Addison is out. I mean, we do have a really good receiver core, with Brandon Powell, Jalen Naylor, um, you know, but I think that Jefferson's gonna have to um, have a better game this week than he did last week. I just have that feeling that he's gonna have to, and especially with Jordan Addison out. Um, I think I've seen this. There's three problems that we need to fix before this game. Number one, our interior offensive line protection. Blake Brandel was actually very good last week in week 1. But even though they were up against one of the best, Dexter Lawrence, Ed Ingram and Jared Bradbury, they need to be much better in this game. Um, you know, Sam Darnold only got sacked once, but there was, a lot of times that Bradbury and Ingram did let him through. Usually Brandel is not that good, but he was very good last week, and that's just one thing that needs to be better. Is our O-line protection on the interior with mainly Ingram and Bradbury. Number 2, ball security. So, I don't think we have a fumbling problem. I just, it's we only have one game in the books. I just don't want it to keep being, I don't want it to be consistent. Our third snap on offense of the whole regular season was a fumble already. We need to nip that in the butt now and make sure we don't be consistent and have a fumbling problem. Out of all the people, CJ Ham, he has a fumble in his first touch of the year. Like, yeah, we need to nip that in the butt. Hopefully KOC focused on that a little bit in practice with ball security. And number 3, penalties. We had 7 penalties for 63 yards last week. We need to clean those up, especially going against San Francisco. We cannot just hand over free yards to a team like this. I mean, any team for that matter. But a team of this caliber in San Francisco, we cannot give them any free yards. We need to get those penalties cleaned up, and it needs to be now. So let's see if Darnold Dimes can beat his former team and get us to 2-0. You think that we got it in us? Hopefully we're not just beat under average teams. Hopefully we can go in and get a win at home against one of the best in the league and go into next week being 2-0. So yeah, that's all I got for the preview. Enjoy the game. Hopefully we come out 2-0. Let's beat the Niners. Skull Vikings. Subscribe to the YouTube channel if you have not yet. Hit the bell for notifications. There'll be a game recap after this game. It'll be on, more than likely, it will be on Monday. So, and stay tuned to subscribe to the YouTube channels. Stay tuned. We're gonna have some um, you know, some extra things that are out of the ordinary that we haven't done. So stay tuned for that. And Skol, let's beat the Niners. And yeah, let's have some fun tomorrow. See you later.